so your bike won't start. Come on. And if it does, it runs like crap. Come on! What the hell is that? You may want to take a look at the #1 most common problem of carburetor motorbikes, and that's a clogged pilot jet. This is how I fixed my bike, and how you can probably fix your bike too. So obviously you got to get at your carburetor. So all you got to do is just start picking off bits of your bike until eventually you can pull off the carb just like that. Now let's go and take a look and see what we find inside this thing. Okay, the first thing I do is spray it down with a few shots of brake cleaner. Then I dig in, pull off the hoses, spin out the choke, crank off the idle adjuster, back out the air screw, noting its position first, watching for springs and any hidden O-rings too. Undo the drain plug, split off the float bolt, push out the float pin, and there it is, right beside the main jet. The culprit we've been shooting for, that rotten little pilot jet. And just as we thought, it's blocked solid. All right, I got to thinking, why is it always the pilot jet that seems to be the culprit when your bike's running crappy? Like 90% of the time, it seems to be the pilot jet. Well, it's pretty much because the thing is so damn small. That pilot jet is tiny. On this particular carb, it's 0.4 millimeters across. That's a pretty small diameter. Now for reference, you take a look at one of these mechanical pencils, and that's a 0.5 mil lead. So that's 20% smaller than the tip of this pencil. That is tiny. It really doesn't take much to plug that up. That hole is just so small. And the pilot jet is responsible from, I think, 0 to about 20% of full throttle. It's very noticeable. You're gonna notice it right away. Okay, we have the carb in bits, and we found the suspect to be that pilot jet, just like we figured. Now, it's all in bits, we may as well clean everything. Now, there's a multitude of ways you can do that. You can just get a pot of water or a pail of water and soap, get in there with a toothbrush, scrub around, and you're good to go, right? Eventually, you'll get that thing clean. Or the wife, while she's in the tub, throw it in there while she's thrashing around in the tub.
What the hell are you doing?
Have fun, do a good job.
You idiot!
Eventually all those bits will get clean, and the carb stuff too. Anyway, my way of doing it is this ultrasonic cleaner. I ended up picking up this cheap one. It's fairly cheap. It's an entry-level ultrasonic cleaner off Amazon. Works okay. Eventually I'd like to upgrade. This has a flaw in as much as it takes forever to heat up. You could read a copy of War and Peace and come back and this thing would still be chugging away trying to get up to temperature. My workaround for that is to just go in the house, put a pot of water on the stove, get it up to boil, bring it out and pour it into here, and then add your solution. But there's another thing. What do you put in there? What's the solution? What's the go-to? Now, if you go online and try and figure out what the best solution is, good luck, man. That's a rabbit hole. You'll be on there for hours because everybody has their own concoction, right? Their own formula. A lot of guys are using vinegar, apple cider vinegar and water, dish soap, detergent, ammonia, fondue fuel. Like, it's unbelievable what people are using. A couple guys are using gasoline and kerosene. Not a good idea. You got a big pot of boiling gasoline in your shop? Yeah, I highly recommend you don't do that. You probably won't have much left when you come back to get your stuff. The stuff I found is this stuff here. It's called Crystal Clear Concentrate. I'll put a link in the description below where you can find this stuff. Can't say enough about it. Works really, really well. So after you've done that, got that going, stick the carb body in here and all the little bits that you have, like all the tiny little jets and springs and stuff, I put them in a jar so they're just a lot easier to retrieve once they're in there. You don't want to be fishing around in there trying to pick them out. It's hot and it's just easier. Just use a jar. So 20 minutes in, good to go. Once that's all done, fish out your parts. Put them in a tub of soapy water or clear water, just to get all that solvent off of them. And then all you got to do is dry them off with a little bit of compressed air. Be careful with the carb body. I mean, don't hit in those jet holes and stuff with too much pressure. You can damage the carb. Use common sense, okay? Just dry them off. So here's a close look at the pilot jet after the cleaning. Now we can see it's opened up nicely and it no longer is blocked up with any goo or particles. Then when it comes time to assembling this thing, all the bits on the table, make sure you got everything right. A little tub of 2-stroke oil. Dip your finger in that as you're assembling the carburetor. And by the time you're done, it all goes together nice. It's slippery, it's good. It's not gonna be corroded. Everything's nice, it looks good. Ready to go. Stick it on your bike and you are aces. Done. All right, got that pilot jet all cleaned up. Back in the carb, we should be good to go. First kick guaranteed. Anyway, I just noticed that front tire is a little low. Probably have to change that out. Man, it never ends with these things. If you want to learn how to change a tire real quick, check out this video right here. Struggle free. You'll be glad you did. Anyway, I got stuff to do. Woohoo! First kick. See ya.